What is up, ladies and gents? My name is Malcolm, also known as Baytuh, and I am back with another Elden Ring video. And this time around, it's Elden Ring Build video, and I dubbed the Hells Cold-Blooded Duelist. Now, to quickly summarize this build, ladies and gents, the main goal of this build is to very quickly cause massive frost buildup and blood loss buildup on your enemies with the added golden vow on like a dagger, or using the incantation to raise your attack power, plus adding the fire deadly sin incantation to quickly get rid of that frost buildup. And I know that might sound like a bad thing, but you can really quickly reapply that frost buildup to get that to get another massive burst damage of frost damage on your enemies and bosses. Plus, of course, the added blood loss damage with seppuku on your offhand katana or twin blade, but in this case we're using twin blades. It just makes this build really dangerous against enemies and bosses, because after using my original build, which was a heavy strength build using the runes greatsword, I did how to find the runes greatsword video a few weeks or so ago. I wanted to do that amount of damage with the runes greatsword, but I want to move quickly and attack quickly, strike quickly, and I found out using this build you get massive amounts of blood loss damage and frost damage with the twin blade jumping attack. This build is just pretty damn great, and it could definitely stand alongside of some of the best strength builds in my personal opinion. Alrighty, ladies and gents, let's quickly look at some weapons that you're going to be using for this build. We're going to be using the twin blades, and the first twin blade in our main hand is going to be the Godskin Pillar, which you get from defeating the Godskin Apostle boss in the Windmill Village in the Atlas Plateau. The Ash of War I have on here is the Chilling Mist, and plus you can actually get the Fire Deadly Sin incantation in that same village as well, but you do have to travel first to the Lindell Royal Capital into the round table, the real round table hold inside of that capital, to get a painting to actually get a ghost spirit to drop that incantation Fire Deadly Sin in the Windmill Village. So there's that. The second twin blade I'm using on my offhand is going to be the Gargoyle Twin Blade, which I think you get from defeating the dual gargoyle boss fights in one of the underground cities. I think it's Nokron. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. And the Ash of War I have on here is seppuku. Basically, you can pretty much use any twin blade you like, as long as you could slot Ashes of War, seppuku, and Chilling Mist on it. I know the Gargoyle Twin Blade, and I think the other twin blade called I think the Night something twin blade, those both scale better with strength over dexterity, but if you choose the Godskin Pillar and I think the OG twin blade, those scale with dexterity over strength. So you can choose either of those. On the flip side, if I have it in my inventory, you could use Enola Eleanor's pole blade. It already comes with blood loss buildup, so you don't have to use seppuku to injure yourself. Plus, it comes with some fire damage when you use it. But I like to use Fire Deadly Sin, the Fire Deadly Sin incantation, because you, on the top of quickly getting rid of frost buildup in enemies, you can interrupt some enemies and bosses while using Fire Deadly Sin. It interrupts them for like a good second or two, so you could quickly do another jump attack to quickly re-add that frost buildup damage, and of course that blood loss damage. So yeah, the choice is yours, but personally, I recommend going with twin blades that you could slot Ashes of War on, Chilling Mist, and seppuku. And to add more badassery and attack power to your mix, to your repertoire, is slotting a Golden Vow on a dagger to increase your attack power, and of course a Finger Seal just to use the incantation Fire Deadly Sin. Alrighty, ladies and gents, let's move on to the armor pieces and talismans that you're going to be using for this build. And first up is the armor, and the most important armor piece that I highly recommend for this build is Raptor's Black Feathers, mainly because not only does it look freaking dope, but it strengthens your jump attacks, and jump attacks is going to be your main way of attacking with this build, which is pretty dang cool. Not only you do massive amounts of massive amount of damage with your jump attacks with dual twin blades, of course it enhances those jump attacks while using Raptor's Black Feathers. Now, moving on to your other armor pieces, it's pretty much up to you what you want to slot on. I decided to go heavy set since I'm using the Raptor's Black Feathers is mostly a light armor piece. I wanted to go heavy set to kind of offset that, so I could get some poise and some resistances and some damage negation there. But again, it's really up to you. Since this is part frost, part blood buildup. I know it's kind of, a lot of people say that it is required to use, if I have it up here, use the white mask because it slightly raises your attack power when there's blood loss in your vicinity. Either you step between yourself or causing it to an enemy that activates. But again, I like having those heavy set armor pieces up there for some damage negation and some resistances. But again, that's up to you. But I do highly recommend that you do have Raptor's Black Feathers. That is a must for the armor piece for this build. Now, moving on to talismans. The first talisman I have is Tree's Favor +2, raises maximum HP, stamina, and equip load. I mainly like this for HP and stamina because, of course, you don't want to die easily with this build. And plus stamina, it does take a lot, not a lot, but a fair amount, I would say, of stamina for those jump attacks, and definitely doing it consecutively. So yeah, that's pretty handy there. The Claw Talisman, which stacks with the Raptor's Black Feathers, which further enhances your jump attacks. Again, that's the main way you're going to be attacking with this build. And the third talisman is the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, which the effects are blood loss and vicinity increases attack power. I know for a fact that it does stack with, here if I have it, the white mask, but again, like I said, this is all up to you. What armor, the shoulder and head, arms and legs equipment. But I know this talisman does stack well with the white mask. But again, I like going heavy set with this. It's up to you, but the Lord Blood's Exaltation talisman is a must. And the last talisman on our list is the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, where it greatly raises attack power with successive attacks. And when you're using the dual twin blades and you're doing those jump attacks, about, I would say, either the second hit with the twin blade with the first jump attack, this talisman activates. You get this by, I think, at the end of Millicent's quest line, which is kind of end game stuff in the Hell Tree next to the not in the Melina boss fight, but it's in that same kind of area. There is another one, I think it's Millicent's Prosthesis, which kind of slightly enhances your attack power with successive attacks, but it also raises your dexterity. But I decided to use the best one for this, which is the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia for all of that good jazz. I do have some quick additional add-ons for this build, ladies and gents, and mainly it comes from your Flask of Wondrous Physick. I do highly recommend using the Crimson Burst Crystal Tear, which steadily restores HP for a time, because when you do use Fire Deadly Sin, ladies and gents, that incantation does take away some of your HP, and when you use the Crimson Burst Crystal Tear, it does regain some of that health back for 3 minutes. I think Fire Deadly Sin lasts for like 30 or so seconds, while the Crimson Burst tier lasts for, I think, 3 or so minutes. And it's a good offset with that incantation. Plus, I do recommend using some type of summoning ash. I use my Mimic tier ash +10, mainly not for I mainly use it for distractions, just in case if I need to reapply any of my buffs like Golden Vow or Fire Deadly Sin or even Seppuku and Chilling Mist. So yeah, just some added stuff if you choose to use it. But I do highly recommend using Crimson Burst Crystal Tear because you do steadily regain HP for like 3 minutes, because Fire Deadly Sin does steadily takes away your HP when you use it. It balances it out to like a net 0. Alrighty, ladies and gents, we are now moving over to the most, basically the most important part about this build or any build or anything in Elden Ring is the stats. I have no idea how to do in my After Effects to make my voice echo with stats, but you guys get the point. So yeah, with any type of bleed weapon or blood build, you're gonna want your Arcane pretty high. My level, I'm a 230 as you can see, and with Godric's Great Rune, I had my Arcane up to like I think 85 to close to 90, so that's pretty high. You want to hit possibly, I think the soft cap is what, around 50, 65 to 70. I think that I would say the 60, 70, 65 range for Arcane is pretty darn good. Move over to Faith. You want your Faith to at least to be at 19, because that is the requirement to use the Fire Deadly Sin incantation. Intelligence really doesn't play a factor into this, but I do know that Frost build up skills with intelligence, but for some odd reason I've been putting points into intelligence, a few points into intelligence, and since I put Chilling Mist on my Godskin Pillar, I haven't seen that number boost up at all from the 127 to anything higher. Maybe I need to put more points into intelligence, who knows. But I do know when I put Seppuku Ash of War on my Gargoyle Twin Blade, that number was like at a 130, and when I put more points into Arcane, it raised all the way up to 141. So yeah, maybe I need to put more points into intelligence, who knows. For strength and dexterity, I recommend just getting the minimum requirements for your twin blade for strength and dexterity. Like I said, the Godskin Pillar and the OG twin blade scales better with dexterity over strength, while the dexterity over strength, while the Knight twin blade and the Gargoyle twin blade scale better with strength over dexterity. So yeah, choose either of those two depending on what twin blade you're using. For endurance, I recommend somewhere around the high 20s to 30s, so you could use your jump attacks more frequently, and plus with the added Erd Tree favor, not necessarily +2, but whatever plus you have, or that talisman that raises your stamina. You do want your stamina pretty decent. For mine, I would say at least to have it on 17 or 20, so you could use the Ashes of War and the incantation, because I think in total of using Seppuku on your twin blade, Chilling Mist on your twin blade, Golden Vow, and Fire Deadly Sin, that takes a total of 84 FP. So I recommend using at least having at least 17 or to 20 into mind. And for vigor, I would say hitting that 40 to 45 of mark for your vigor, so you could take some hits. So yeah, those are the stats. Alrighty, ladies and gents, we are now moving over to some gameplay tips when dealing with trash mobs and bosses. And this is actually pretty simple. Let's talk about some mobs right quick. It's unnecessary for you to use apply Chilling Mist, Seppuku, Golden Vow, and Fire Deadly Sin, basically all your buffs on trash mobs, because you could really take them out pretty easily if you set your if you use Seppuku and set that bleed affinity on your weapon, and have Chilling Mist, Ash of War, and set that to cold affinity. Use a few jump attacks and you'll instantly take them out pretty quickly. If you have the Raptor's Black Feathers chest piece on, that enhances your jump attacks, and the Claw Talisman, and the Maleficent Prosthesis that enhances your attack power with successive attacks and your dexterity, or the Rotten Sword Insignia, which greatly enhances your attack power with successive successive attacks. So there's that. But if you're facing those heftier enemies that where it has like shields and whatnot, then I would say you can apply either Chilling Mist or Seppuku or both to instantly guard break them and take them down like that. Because I would say 99, I would say the overwhelming majority of enemies in Elden Ring are susceptible to Frost build-up damage and Blood Loss build-up damage. So yeah, there's that. Now moving over to bosses, that's when you add in all of your buffs. So I recommend using Seppuku first, then use Golden Vow or Fire Deadly Sin. I do recommend using Golden Vow first, then use your Flask of Wondrous Physick to activate that Crimson Burst tier that steadily restores your HP. Then switch over to your Finger Seal and then use Fire Deadly Sin to apply that fire damage. Then switch over to your Twin Blade and apply that Chilling Mist so that Frost buildup is already on your weapon. Then you go to town with some jump attacks. I do recommend having a Spirit Summon with you at the start of a boss fight. That's for like distractions, so you can easily reapply buffs if you need to. But if you don't want to, that's up to you. I mean, with this build, again, you're going to be taking down most bosses. I would say the overwhelming majority of bosses in a matter of like a minute or so, because the massive amount of blood damage and frost damage, and of course you can interrupt them with that Fire Deadly Sin a little bit to give you that extra chance to do attack bonus or attack jump attack damage as well. So yeah, but yeah, I do recommend for that mostly your Spirit Summon to distract the bosses so you can go in for those attacks. So yeah. Alrighty, ladies and gents, and that just about does it for my Hells Cold-Blooded Duelist build video. Thank you for watching this, and thank you for joining me for this Elden Ring build video. I will have some more in the future, probably next week or so. Yeah, in the next week or so, so be on the lookout for all that good jazz. And yeah, hopefully all of you enjoy this. And before I let you all go, if you guys can please leave a like on this video if you guys like what you saw. Please subscribe for more content. It helps out the channel a lot. When you do subscribe, make sure you click that little bell next to the subscribe button so you can start receiving notifications when I post videos or go live at a live stream next time. And when you do hit that notification bell, ladies and gents, make sure you set those notifications to all so you don't miss out on any content I post to this channel, be it walkthrough, Let's Play, channel post update, or a live stream. Please share my channel and my videos to all your friends, families, cats, and dogs, and whoever who nots. And you guys can all follow me on Twitter at Baytuh, B-A-Y-T-U-H, if you want to keep supporting me even further than just subscribing to my YouTube channel, leaving a like, share my channel and my videos to all your friends and families. Please consider donating some of your extra money so you have lying around to my Patreon and or PayPal. That is patreon.com/Baytuh, B-A-Y-T-U-H, and or paypal.me/Baytuh, B-A-Y-T-U-H. You do not have to do either of those. That's 100% optional, but please note, ladies and gents, any and all donations are much appreciated. And with all that being said, ladies and gents, without further ado, my name is Malcolm, also known as Baytuh, and I will catch you guys all on my next video. Peace.